Okay, next, 8 o'clock now. Do you want to get
started?
Oh,
hello, there's Tahira. Yes, I'm so sorry. I was just going to try.
No, it's okay.
How are you?
Hi, it's Tahira.
Yes, how have you been?
Great.
Good. And how's your garden growing? Did you send us the questions? That's what I was looking for.
No, I've been kind of ripping and running, so I had the call night wrong. So I'm glad that I can just be on the call and kind of listen. But I did some seedlings, and they're coming along. So I'm kind of just on the call to hear other folks who better prepared.
Oh, okay, great. Well, let's see who comes out and joins us tonight. But what have you started with so far? Right now, I see you had a lot of seeds that you ordered: melon, squash, pepper, soybean.
Oh,
cucumber.
Right.
Yes.
And on the last call, I got some advice about what to grow first.
Did you spell that, or did you start your seeds yet, or not yet?
Oh yeah, they're started. So I did one tray of the herbs from, I guess, the first call that we did. And then I did one tray of 4 plants. None of the peppers have come up, but the chard came up a little. The broccoli I planted is like those seedlings are maybe 2.5 inches. And then there's one more. Oh, I can't believe I forgot what's in the tray. It's one of the seeds looks like a little roly-poly bug.
Oh, is it calendula?
Yes, it is. That's why I don't. Yeah. Because I ordered that only because of what my reading in the online classes. It was one of the suggested ones.
Oh, okay, great. Yes, no, those are easy to grow. So you said the peppers haven't come out, and did you do cauliflower as well?
So I mixed. I think I had old broccoli seeds, so I mixed the cauliflower and broccoli seeds.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's great. And then I'll see which ones come out. So how big are they right now?
So I think I have. Well, okay. We're not getting out just yet. Okay, just for a minute. You want to say hello?
Hi.
Hi. We're gonna take just a minute, and then I'm gonna get off the phone. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're not finished saying hello? But unless you're going to talk about plants, then we can't talk. What do you want to talk about the plants?
My plants are growing fat.
They're growing fat?
Oh.
Okay, so Dylan planted wonderful. 2 pea seeds, and they're shooting up.
Oh, that's great. Oh my goodness. You can either eat them now, or you can wait till they grow a little bigger and and plant them in outdoors, and then you'll be able to harvest some peas from them.
Do you think we should plant them outdoors when they get big? Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh,
So-
congratulations! I'm so glad you're growing.
Thanks. And I planted the tray of herbs, but they are like tiny. I don't know if they take longer to sprout.
Oh, yeah,
But-
they
They
can
will
take much
take-
longer.
they will
What
take 2
herbs did you
months and-
plant?
I missed the last part of that.
Sorry, I was just asking which herbs did you plant from the...
Oh, I planted the ones that came in the first herb kit. The one that you sent. So it was like basil, parsley, cilantro.
Okay, yeah, so some of those grow faster than others.
Oh, thyme is in there. Yeah. So those I planted them maybe a day apart from the veggie seedlings, and of course the veggie seedlings. Please don't do that. Here. So I'm just being patient with the herbs.
Yeah, for example, something like thyme or rosemary could probably take up to 2 months before you would actually transplant it outside. So it's just a real test in patience. It starts as this little small thing, and then you just continue to keep it watered every 2 days, and it'll look like it's not doing anything, but there'll be a point where it'll very gradually start to add 2 or 3 leaves, and then there's a point where it'll actually grow faster. So it's just, I guess because herbs are much smaller seeds to start off with, it just take a much longer time to get established.
Okay, then it's a test and taste.
Yep. And you're doing really well, Tahira. I mean, you know everything. You've done 3 classes already, 3 little lessons on you choosing your plants, so you know what you're doing. And seed starting is very similar to sprouting. It's just going into what we talked about last time we talked with you, what tray to start first, which you already have. So I think you're doing really well. It's just that test of patience with the herbs. And then, do you know when you might want to transfer? You are here in the Baltimore area, right? Is that right?
So I'm in Bowie. And
Oh,
so,
in Bowie,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah, so it's not far. I was really sorry that I had a conflict for the seed swap because even when I think on the first call you guys said we're in.
Sorry, you cut out for the last bit of that.
Oh yeah, I got a prompt from Zoom that was saying press *6 or something, but I don't know. Wait. Oh, that you were in Sterling, that you were so close by. I was like, I wonder if I can just drive and meet them. And I was like, I won't ask them that. So when I saw the Saturday invite, I was really bummed that I couldn't go. But how did it go on Saturday?
It went well. There were like 8 people who showed up, and they had a lot of fun, and we toured the house and ate good food. And this Sunday, if you're interested in mushrooms, there's another event that's also in our area though, so it's a bit of a drive for you and your daughter, but you're welcome to come to that one too in the afternoon if you're available. But yeah, there's
that was Chantilly, right?
I'm sorry?
It was in Chantilly?
Yes, that one's in Chantilly.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one.
Yeah, and so in Bowie, why I asked was, so we have the same temperature, so the weather is getting warmer and warmer now. So some of those seedlings, cauliflower, Dave, do you think she should put it out? When do you think, and how tall are they? Oh, the brassica, the broccoli and the cauliflower, how tall are they right now?
Oh, so they did the best out of the stuff that I planted. So they might be 2.5 and 3 inches.
Okay, have they started producing more than 1 set of leaves yet?
No, just the 2 they started out with.
Yeah, if you watch the transplanting module, I kind of cover some things to look for to know when it's ready to transplant outside.
Oh, what's the module called?
It's called transplanting.
Which course is it in? I don't think I'm to it.
It should come after, so there's seed starting, then there's garden installation, then there's transplanting.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
We can make sure that you're enrolled for it, maybe.
Yeah, I'll add her too in that one, transplanting. Yep. Oh, she's not, so I'm gonna add that. So you'll see it now. You'll see it in your dashboard if you wanna check that out too. We just don't want to overwhelm everybody with, especially if you have progressed quite a lot. So for those who are only doing like 1 or 2, then we don't want to give them all the courses at once so that they can catch up and not feel overwhelmed with seeing so many courses. But I just enrolled you in transplanting seedlings, and then you'll have a little bit more guidance as to when to transplant them. But I would say probably in a month, no, Dave?
The thing with brassicas is that you want to make sure they don't get what they call leggy. So that's where it puts a lot of top growth, like the stem is pretty big, but it hasn't developed much of a root system. So what you're looking for is it'll start to produce secondary leaves. So the first 2 leaves that it produces are called the cotyledon leaves, and they're just from the seeds. They don't actually look like what the plant will look like eventually. So you're looking for those second and third pairs of leaves before you can feel confident that it's ready to transplant outside. So if it's already 2 or 3 inches tall and it hasn't started producing the second set of leaves, you just want to be careful with the brassicas that it's getting enough sun. So I think, what are the other things that you're growing in that tray?
Calendula, she said, and peppers.
Okay. The thing is, I was going to recommend that you could almost put the brassicas outside soon, but the problem is the peppers, they're looking for a minimum heat before they'll germinate. So that if you have like a nice little warm place, the peppers tend to germinate once the temperature's around maybe like 70 degrees. So they're one of the last things to germinate in the spring, even later than tomatoes.
Okay. So I need to maybe consider moving the tray or warming up the tray. I have an AeroGarden because I used to have like a kitchen herb garden, but I hadn't used it in a while. Do you think that the grow light isn't for warmth, it's just for light, right?
Yeah, but that would be good for the broccoli and the cauliflower. It just wouldn't. Yeah, it's the pepper's looking more for the heat than the light. And you can always send us pictures if you have any questions. You're not sure whether or not they're developing properly.
Oops.
I'm gonna send pictures. My chard was looking a little like it was falling over. And I read something online about, I forgot what the name of it was. Not dampening, but whatever it was, they said mound up the dirt beside it. So that's what I tried. But I'll take pictures of that, and then I'm still trying to decide where outside the garden's going to begin.
Oh, great. That's why you're doing the design course, right? Because you're in the middle of that. And it says that you're 65% through the design course, and that'll help, hopefully, with your garden design.
Oh, no, it's been a big help. So, yeah, that's where I am.
Okay, great. I'm glad.
What kind of space do you have? Are you planning on doing raised beds, or do you have an existing garden?
So I plan to do raised beds with pavers. And we have an okay sized backyard. I'm not really limited by size, but I think my husband likes the lawn, so I can only take up so much space. So I think maybe 8 by 10 or 6 by 8. I can't remember, but whatever the dimensions I saw on the Sister Guild Plus, I thought I could probably do in my yard, minus, of course, not counting the herbs.
Oh, not having the what?
Minus the herb spiral. Like I do the herb spiral. Yeah, separate.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, 6 by 8. I mean, you can start there, and you're so focused. I mean, with the Three Sisters Guild, that it's so doable. And yeah, pavers we're familiar with that. So it's everything you said sounds good, Tahira. Just you're going through the course really well. And there's pictures if you think that there are any problems. But yeah, just be patient with your herbs.
I can actually, I have a few Swiss chard seedlings. I can show you what they should look like. So I'll just be back in like 30 seconds. Just give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
Hi, Mary. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Oh, 1 second. Are they up here? They're actually up here. Okay.
I think I fixed it.
Okay, you can close the door. All right, good evening, Mary. We're gonna finish up with Tahira. We'll just show her some of the Swiss chard seedlings, just so she can get an idea of how they should look in the seed tray. And then we'll be excited to talk to you. So I'm gonna mute you until we're done with Tahira.
So I don't know if you can see here in the foreground. You see these ones here? These are Swiss chard. So they're kind of slow developing. This took about maybe a month, a little to get to
Yours
this
are definitely further along, yeah.
Yeah, so you just need to continue to water it. And Swiss chard takes longer to grow than beets, but once it gets established, you can actually grow it over like a biennial. It'll actually grow for multiple years. We have a couple Swiss chard that are entering their 3rd year. So it's just one of those things. Yeah, this is almost ready to transplant. I'm just waiting. The weather's still a little bit cold, and I'm not in no rush, so I'll wait to transplant this outside. But yeah, you just have to be patient with the chard. The other weird thing with chard and other chenopats like beets is that each seed is actually a cluster of seeds. So I don't know if this is occurring in your seed flats, but if they all sprout, you'll have 3 little seedlings in one little clump. And it's not because you placed the seeds too close together. It's because each seed is actually like a cluster of seeds.
Oh, okay. I think I saw. Hold on. I think I saw a couple really close together. Yeah, I wondered about that.
Yeah, so you can just wait till it's started to develop a few more leaves, and then you can kind of separate it. You kind of dig under. If you watch the transplanting module, you'll see how to kind of dig underneath the roots just to loosen it, and then you can separate it. But it's not a big deal for now. It's only when it gets a little bigger that you need to separate it.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Did we answer all your questions? Is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Tahira. You're welcome to stay on for Mary if you wanted to listen in, or just we're just here for the rest of the evening with Mary. So Mary, I am trying to look at where you are growing from because I cannot recall. And maybe let me unmute you and see if you can tell us. There you go. Hi, Mary.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you remind me again where you're growing from?
Near Charlottesville, Virginia.
Ah, okay. And
a little south of you.
A little south of us. And
yeah.
How's it going? What are you, I see you've started some of the courses, but do you have any idea of what you wanted to plant this spring?
I'm dealing with reality. I cannot plant that.
Oh.
To give you history, I had a very large garden in New England, and it was very productive. Down here, the soil is not working well. It's really bad, but I got some boxes started, some 4x4s, but I've only got two. 2 4x4s is not going to plant what I consider a garden. So I'm going to try to build more boxes. But so far I've been slow starting everything because I haven't got enough room to transplant them out. And right now we're flooded.
Oh no, because of all the rain we've been getting.
Yes. Actually, I shouldn't say we're flooded. It's just you walk and the ground goes squish, 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 squish. It's not that I have water laying, which is better than my neighbors. They have water laying on the fields. Mine's just squishy when you walk on it.
Okay.
I have to say one thing. I didn't send you back the reports from the beginning when you first sent them to me, but I've done them and they are fantastic help.
Oh, great. Can you remind me again? I'm so sorry, Mary. Which reports were those? Were they about the soil?
Oh, well, where you have the layout of the garden. The layout of the garden, which way is it facing? How much room do you have? What are your weather elements for the year? That first set of reports you sent.
Yes, okay, good.
And I've done them and they're fantastic help.
Oh, awesome. Okay, that's good. So that's the design portion of your garden. So you've got that down, right, which is a good place to start. And you know, you need to grow more beds you need to build more beds in order to plant more than what your heart's desire, to your heart's desire. The only thing is here in Virginia.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going
to say my garden in New Hampshire, I had 6 rows, 4 inches. Most of them were 4 feet wide, but by 8 feet long. So I had a good sized garden.
So are you looking to set up raised beds, or are you looking to in-ground beds?
I like the raised 4x4s or 4x8s, whichever ones work better.
So
I like them much better.
Sorry, you said that you're having trouble with the soil. You mean it's rocky, or it's just
clay?
Really...
When I do the soil testing, I come back that I've got a good solid pH factor, and that's all I've got. Everything else tests negative.
Can I see some of your
all the components?
Can I see some of your test? Like you can post it on the forums, which is what we recommend, so that we have you yourself can track the progress of your garden throughout the year. But because if you look in I just did this, the seed starting module. No, it was the garden installation module. I go really deep into soil, how to interpret your soil test results, and how it's so important that it doesn't matter where you are really in the States at the end. The important thing is that there is life in the soil. And so the reason, the most likely reason for the fact that your pH is okay, but then the nutrients in the soil are deficient, is possibly because there is no biology. Your soil is dirt, so there's a whole orchestra of players that needs to be in that soil. And to build that up, it does require compost. Do you know if you have any source of manure or compost, or do you have a composting bin by any chance on your property?
We started composting last year. It's not ready to use yet.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It does take a while, but you can build what we call a lasagna garden, where you are building your
last year what I did is I bought soil.
Okay, you can do that too, but embedded in the soil, because the soil that you'll get from the stores, and we buy soil because we are always giving these talks on seed starting, and we use normally when we start our own trays, we use our own soil in our backyard, but when we have to haul it, we usually haul it in the bags that are already. But the way that if you go into the course and you look at garden installation, and I will put you in and enroll you in that one. That has a little bit on lasagna gardening, and I'll send this to you as well in an email so that you can follow up from here. You don't worry about losing whatever I've said. And yes, and the lasagna garden is starting from whatever base soil you have, whatever it may be. Even most of this will be clay actually. Then you would build up, and you just put layers of topsoil and mulch and leaf mulch and straw and kitchen scraps, and the very bottom layer would be cardboard. And the idea is that in a matter of, it should be ready in about a week's time, 2 weeks' time. You can
Beautiful.
Yes, you can use the topsoil there, and somehow your soil will be inoculated with life, so that then you'll have in your raised beds much different soil than the rest of the soil around your garden, and that'll help probably with that initial problem of that soil being so dead. But I'd love to see what the soil test says, so that we can know exactly where the deficiencies lie. And I go through it in the garden installation course that you'll see if you log into Grow It Yourself, the course, then you'll see the garden installation, and then I talk about how to interpret your soil tests there. I hope that helps.
Okay, great. I'll do that.
Yeah, but other than that, it looks like you have a great I love to see the pictures of your garden and the 2 4x4s that you've already. Did you make them yourself?
Oh, no, actually we bought these. The ones before, yeah, we made them ourselves up north, yeah.
Oh, wow, cool.
It took time. It was funny because we started off, we did 1 or 2, and then these are working, let's add 2 more, and then let's add a whole row of tomatoes. So we had a 6 or 8 foot, I don't remember which, 4 by 6 or 8 foot tomatoes. We like tomatoes.
Oh, good. Well, we're going to grow lots of that.
Yeah, cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes.
Wonderful.
My mother used to make tomato sauce and spaghetti sauce, so we put it all away and used it all year long.
Wow, you were able to can your tomatoes because you grew that much.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Did you want to add?
Yeah, we ate a fair share though, because we had cherry tomatoes. Those didn't get canned.
Yeah, those you just eat like candy, I guess. Dave, did you want to add something?
Yeah, just about this,
Yes.
the climate and tomatoes, this Virginia climate. What I've noticed is that tomatoes tend to, around here, they get early blight pretty easily. So
Is that what's happening?
you can, if you get some good, yeah, what happens is right around July, we get quite a lot of rain, and there's just this a perfect combination of humidity and the existing fungus in the soil just tends to cause a lot of early blight. So it's actually better to get your tomatoes out earlier in this climate than it might be in some other climates. Because I've tried a lot of different varieties, and they'll be some of them are pretty hardy and they'll survive. They don't really suffer from early blight, but I've tried an awful lot of like what they consider very good varieties, heirloom varieties, and quite a lot of them just succumb. You know, they're big plants. They're maybe like already 6 or 7 feet tall with supports, and then they just start wilting at an unnatural. So
that's why I started testing the soil, because I lost 2 whole beds of tomatoes the first year we were down here, and I couldn't figure out about the end of June, July, beginning of August. All of a sudden, they went from growing well to dead.
Yeah. So what I recommend on that is so one thing is just starting the tomatoes a little earlier, that you can get them outside by early May. If you've grown them indoors, then they're already healthy sized transplants by then. And then the other thing is you can actually there's a type of mycorrhizal fungi that will help to deal with the early blight. So our backyard, which has really great soil compared to I also planted a community garden at my work, which doesn't have such good soil. But I never get early blight in our backyard because we have such a healthy fungal mix in the back. So what you're looking for, there's a powder called endomycorrhizal fungi. It's basically just a powder that you can put in the same hole as when you plant your tomato. And what they've discovered is that having the right type of fungus in the soil will actually compete with the harmful fungi. So it'll actually promote the health of the plant. So these are. It also depends on your varieties, but it's just there's a few little different tips to try.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm sending all the things.
I'm slow in starting my seeds.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm slow in starting my seeds this year, and that's my project for the next week and a half. And then my next week and a half is starting my seeds and getting my trays, and I'm late. I'm very late. I usually plant my seeds to put out in the garden. Usually the end of January, beginning of February, I start having little trays all over the house. And I haven't gotten there this year. So we're going to start soon.
Well,
this year I have competition with pussycats. They sit on my trays and break them.
Oh no, you're not the only one. Several people had said that to us. And I really am sorry for you, but they'll have to be put somewhere where the cats can't climb, I guess, or put a cover on it, maybe.
Yeah, I just read an article, and basically it said plant forks in them. You know, the little plastic forks.
Oh,
and it's like, how to keep them. Plants, so you get the fork and they'll leave.
That's a smart thing.
Oh, don't try that.
Yes, and tell us what happened so we can pass that knowledge to the other people. I mean, you can help others.
Will do.
Yes. What was I going to say? There's something else that came to my mind. Oh, okay. So don't worry, you're not late. You're late just because you're an advanced gardener, Mary. So you've been gardening all your life, so now you're comparing yourself to like different situations and stuff. So you're definitely eager to grow and willing to grow and doing everything you need to do. So you're going to get an abundant harvest still at this point in time if you start now. So don't discount that. And when we'll fix your soil and don't beat yourself up. We're here to let us know if you want potatoes, because we were giving away potatoes in an email that we sent. Did you see?
I want to try them, but I've never had much luck with them. I want to try them and see if I can do better down here.
Okay, well, just
New England, it ends up going cold before I can get them.
Ah.
Yeah.
So when did
you?
Move?
Cold, it freezes.
When did you move to Virginia?
About 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I lived in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad I'm down south out of the city now. I lived in a condo type thing. So there were no gardens allowed. I tried to do it in the community garden, but that's just too far away. I have to have it where, okay, I feel like going gardening, I go do it now. Not I have to get everything together, pack it in the car, drive down the road. No. So now we've got a house and I got to get my garden up.
Yay!
The part with the 4x4 that I liked, because he had just brought his book out when I first started it. And I read the book and hey, this is great. All I had to do was remember, all right, this is what I planted here last, and plant something different, an opposite in there next. And it made my life real easy instead of trying to write it all down. And
yes, which book were you?
I want to get back there. Square Foot Gardening.
Or Mel Bartholomew.
Yes.
Okay.
I like his original book very well. I don't like his newer one.
Ah.
It's not bad, but it doesn't have all the helpful hints and things that the first one had.
Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty good. Anything that'll help you make you a lazier gardener is helpful, and that's good remembering device that he has there. So, okay, is there anything else, Mary, that you wanted
Lazy
to?
but productive.
Yes, lazy but productive. That's what we
We
are.
want maximum productivity.
With minimum input.
Yeah.
Nope, that's it.
That's it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mary. I'm going to send you an email with a follow-up of what we've talked about, and then I'll wait to hear from you, and just keep us posted. We're always eager to know what you're growing and how you're faring and how you are, if we can help you even more, we'd be happy to do that. So keep on.
I have a lot of potatoes,
Thank you.
so I can send you some.
That'd be great.
Because right about now is the time to get them in the ground. They're mid-season potatoes, so they'd be ready by July.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
And if you have like a
Thank
shady area, if you have a shady area, they'll do pretty well in a partial shade as well.
I have 15 acres, of which 14 and a half are shade. The other half is going to turn into a garden. The other half is going into a garden, and then we're going to expand it.
All right. Well,
I hope.
Yes. Well, then that's perfect. They will send those out to you this coming few days. So watch out.
Any photos to give us a better idea. That would be great of your surrounding area.
Thank you. Will do.
Okay, very good. Well done.
Help keep me on track or get me on track.
Yeah, that's what this is for.
All right, good night.
Well, have a good night, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's been the first time I've been able to, because usually the kids have soccer on Wednesday and I'm stuck there. And you had it on Thursday and I could join.
Yeah, we're trying to do that now to make sure everybody's served. So we'll see every
Thank you.
I have something. Yes, I have something on Tuesdays now. So now I can't do it on Tuesdays, but Thursdays are open. So next month we'll see which ones, either Tuesday or Thursday, we'll be able to do on top of the Wednesday. Okay.
That's great. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, Mary. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm going to stop recording and end the meeting.